How you going, guys? Today we're in a Jeep Wrangler. If your head unit looks like this, then we're going to be covering, well, not just the head unit, but actually like this whole bit around here. So if you've got these like sort of AC vents here, and that there, and the little like pocket up here, dash is that same like sort of style. Doesn't matter if this part's different, then I will be going through the install for this today. I think it's around 2010 to 2018 we cover in here, and there's two sort of models. Earlier I saw one has like the rabbit ears as the speakers, and the newer one has sort of flat speakers. Now these are two different SKUs. When you go to our product page, you'll see the drop down rabbit ears or flat. Just means like the fascia is a bit different because on this model quite a lot comes off. So we will go through it all today. These radios are pretty old school, pretty like basic, isn't too much going on there. No factory USB ports, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure there isn't, so that's okay. We've got steering wheel controls. So there's the factory unit here. It's pretty old school. I think this is about a 2012. There's actually no volume on the steering wheel control, which we might be able to learn, we'll see. Obviously into reverse here, we don't have any reverse camera, so we'll be putting one like those, and they come in our kit, and we'll cover the install. Install today is not hard, it's just a little bit time consuming as it's a bit bigger, the pieces you come off, just like the manufacturing of these cars. So trim tools you get in here, pop that through. This will hopefully pull out enough for you to be able to access the screws. Very tight on this one, I can't even get in there. So there's two locks to get it off, and I'll explain once we get it off, but it's just like pop two like rear tags. Don't know if we're quite going to be able to like get there, but if we can't, there's just a bolt in like the back we're trying to get to, so we can probably get a extension in here. I'll have a look at that in a second, but you can see I've popped one rear tab up. That tab there, just pop it from the bottom and like push it up, and you can see it's like poking out there now, and there's one at the back as well. And top here got your little rubber mat that comes off, and then just take out that one right there. So we'll sort of unscrew that. We go, that's out. Now underneath our wheel here we have this trim down here. The camera in a good spot. There we go. This trim, pull down with your hands. A couple of clips in there. That comes out. And what we are looking for are just a couple little screws in here. So nuts, 1, 2. We'll undo those two. This doesn't come out very far, so pop that rear like tab up, which I'll show you what that was of this. It's even hard to see now, but there's a rear tab there that pops up, and then at the back there you just need to push down on this little tab and it'll like pull out. You can just get your fingers in there past there. I'll show it to you again like once you have the fascia off and you'll be able to see exactly where it is. So then under there you've got another one of these. 4 in total. You take that out, then you've got your whole dash here. So when you go to take the whole dash out, you want to come around the outside first and just give it a pull at the top. Pull at the top, come around to this edge and give it a pull. So you just let your hands follow the edge of the whole unit. A few tugs. It's just plastic, so don't be too hard on it. It'll come off eventually when it wants to, like that. You see it slowly coming off, and then it has to come up, so you got to come up to get that bit behind the steering wheel off, like so. And then actually what I should have done is drop the steering wheel down. That's going to help you out. Should have done that at the start. Drop that down, and that's going to allow you to get it all the way out. Now we've got a microphone just plugged on here, so we'll just peel that off. Slide that out maybe, and that's that whole piece of dash removed. That's why you're going to get such a big box when we send it out here, because you're getting this whole sort of fascia. I'll put that in the back there, and you can see that's off. So again, start at the top, pull back, pull around, pull here, put the steering wheel down, pull down here. It's sort of like plastic, so just sort of like jiggle and pull it all around the edges, and then come up here and out. Then you got 4 of your same size bolts there. Undo all of those, I've pre-undone those, and then give the head unit a pull, it'll come out. And you've got these plugs at the back, which I'll show you once I've unplugged them. They all just have a little clip on them which you push down to take them off. It's fairly standard. That's the old unit out. Goodbye. So showing you these plugs, they just have they all have something you push down like that on them. Push down, pull. Now that was the original plug here, that was a bit tight, so that was what I was talking about. You have to get your finger to push that part down, so So I pop that tab up and then push this down. So now you've like sort of seen it, you probably understand it when you get your finger in there. So that's everything pretty much taken out up to there. There is actually a USB in here on this model, just like seen it here. So you've got these like Uconnect boxes and these things, so this part just pull off with your hands, it's going to come off fairly easily. Couple of plugs in the back of it, undo those. You don't really have to worry about these sort of plugs where they go, they only go back to where they can fit in. It's sort of the same as our head unit plugs, only fit where they fit. And get that out. If you come across a tight one like those, the trim tool is quite handy. Plug down there. That's just that. That is the Uconnect box. So again, this like same size sort of nuts, so bolts. They're all 7mm. Sorry, I should have told you that. They're all 7mm ones anyway. So we'll take this out. This is actually where all the Bluetooth connection and stuff happens for the head unit on these Jeep models. So there's just 2 on there. Might be a bit of a pain not to lose as you pull it out, so kind of get your hand in there behind there first and pull it back, and then you won't drop it down there. And this little box comes out, and there's a few plugs in the back of here, and that's just how we're going to keep that USB happening. But we'll explain that in a second, and we'll go and look at what comes in the kit. So you can see there's a bit of stuff in the kit here. Obviously one of the sort of reasons this costs a bit more, we're replacing a fair big whack of the dash, and obviously you've got to like ship that around, extra things for cost. So here's our head unit here, pretty straightforward. Sort of built on like Facia. This is our like M series unit. On the back here we call that our main 20 pin plug, auxiliary plugs, got a GPS, 4G, FM, AM antenna. That's that. Got your dash around and your top container again. So we'll be replacing all of those. Trim removal tools, easy adapter harness, so you can just sort of plug into your current one with a CAN bus box so it can talk to the car. 1080p reverse camera in here, OBD2 scan tool so you can check engine faults and get live engine data, FM Fakra adapter, obviously drink holder, 4G antenna, that just goes under the dash, GPS, that goes under the dash, third USB port is the pink one. Majority of people like use our USB ports for our TPMS dash cameras, etc, etc. Auxiliary out only needed if you're going to be running an amp, so like a lot of people that won't be like using this, they'll just use this plug instead that has our Bluetooth antenna on it. Our 2 USBs and external mic plug. External mic may or may not be in the kit, it just depends what's sort of working for us at the moment. If it is in the kit, try both of them. I'll explain that to you and I'll see what works best. SIM card holder if you want to use the unit for internet by itself, put a SIM card in it, and reverse camera input. So that's basically the whole kit, plus you get a manual, and yeah, that's everything we have. It does look a bit full on at first, but as I go through and explain it to you, you'll be right. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to take our adapter harness and our FM AM plug, because we just want to see if everything's going to power on and work. So this is how easy this is. Main radio plug, the right way up. Bang, pretty straightforward there. Got this extra plug here, which I'm always interested about because I do like to know what they do. Yeah, here you go. So this extra plug is going into that a microphone they're like sort of using. So you could actually pull this whole thing out if you wanted to. It's just sort of floating in here. Looks like that. So in this case, that's what that was being used for. Then we had this plug here as well, which I'm not 100% sure what that one does. And then we've got a GPS plug. The old GPS was up here, which we're not going to be using, and an FM AM antenna. Sorry, the blue one's your GPS. This one is your FM AM antenna, which will plug our adapter into, like so. It's going to get our FM AM going. Now we're going to grab the head unit, power it on, check that it works. Got the head unit here, put the big plug in there, give it a push in, put the FM AM plug in there. Set it up here, turn your car on, and we'll check out what's going on. Can't see the screen there, it'll just slow boot the first time, then apart from there it will quick boot up, just because it hasn't had power in it before. There you go, so you can see the car information is actually coming through because it's telling us the doors are open. So that's cool, click on the radio. Radio's working, that steering wheel control worked. I pushed the phone. Now it's not working yet, but we know it's communicating with the car because we saw a door open. We've got music working. What you can also do is you come in here, you'll see DSP. So we've got sound, and you can also, I don't know if this will pick this on the canvas. No, it doesn't. So we've got to just hook our trigger in for a reverse camera. That's all I was checking there. But that's basically what we had to see. So that's all working. So we'll go through and put all the other bits in now. So we're just going to go through and put on all the cables we need now. So 2 USB and external mic cable. This here, depending where you want to run your USBs to, you can choose. If you have some of our products, you might want to hook them up to that. But it's up to you. I pop these out. So I'm just going to tuck them into the glove box for now. Good a spot as any. It'll be easy to feed back this way. Feed those through. Those are 2 USBs. We can just tape them up into the glove box there. Third USB, we'll do the same thing for. Again, this customer's not using any of our add-ons, so the USBs, we'll just put them somewhere handy just in case in the future you do want to add on some tyre pressure stuff or dash cam, whatnot. Except for here, you just pop the glove box and get to them, or you can tuck them under the trim somewhere if you don't want to have them in the glove box. Right there. SIM card slot. Probably only 10% of our customers actually sort of use this like function. It just depends if you want to give the head unit its own internet or if you want to stream it. But again, in the glove box, because you can just give the head unit internet from your phone when you need it, just a hotspot to it. The only thing you can't do is you can't use like wireless CarPlay and Android Auto and give your head unit internet at the same time, because they are both using a hotspot on your phone. 4G antenna. This just needs to have a decent view of the sky without having any steel overhead. So plastic above it is okay. So in here is going to be pretty good. You can just treat it exactly kind of like your phone. So if your phone was on the dash, I'm sure it would get reception. So this antenna will get reception on the dash as well. So you can pull that back. It's got a little stick paddle on the back. It can come off fairly easy. And just choose where you're going to put it, where it's not going to get in the way of anything or any clips. On here for now. That's that. Customer's not going to be using the old mic anymore, so we'll just put this in the bag. Put it in your box of your original one. You can put it back in if you need, but not needed at the moment. GPS antenna. So it's up to you. You could peel off the factory one and put it up here. It's up to you where you put it. Like that's going to be a pretty good spot to put it in there. Oh, yeah, it's actually put on pretty solidly, so you could actually pull this out of the way like that, and pull it back and get rid of it, and then you can put our one in there if you like. I should have gone the other way, sorry, because it'd be a lot easier to pull the cable through, so you probably can't see what I'm doing here, but just this factory GPS antenna, it's just got a sticker, and this is cable here, so untangle it first and then pull it through. So we pulled that out, the old one, and we'll put our one in, just a stick pad on there. People ask, can I just use the factory one? We've tested them. I think the problem is because obviously it's old technology, like this car's 2012, ours always pick up satellites better and get more satellites. So you can use the old one, but the GPS is not going to be as good. Again, like the GPS just allows the unit to be its own standalone navigation. So some people use it, some people don't. Again, just flick this through here. Follow the same path you took the old one out of. Wrap that through. Taping up the excess at the other end, and we'll just stick our one onto here. Orientation does not matter. Bang, right where the old one was. Give it a good push down. So, sorry, you can see it up there. Two last cables in there are these two, which we'll put in when we put the head unit in. Now, this part of the video here, I'll just explain the reverse camera. So, if we go in here to our F camera app, and we point this backwards, and we throw the car in reverse. So it's not quite reverse yet. That's what we're after, but we just need to go settings, put that on 1080p 25, and we should get a beautiful looking picture. And we click backwards again. No, it's alright. It depends on the camera version. This one might be one, I think one of our older cameras. Beautiful reverse camera. Now, Oh, so this bit of the video, I'll just explain about the reverse camera. So you just hook it all up, you put our grey plug in there, and you put our purple one in, and this line here, I'll show you where I've run that. But this green one has to go into our orange and black wire here. Now you can see that orange and black wire is currently hooked into our CAN bus, but we're actually going to chop it and hook this green wire in, because we are not picking the trigger off the CAN bus, probably because it's like a manual and doesn't have it. So that's the two things you do here, and you always test it's working like before you go and get too serious about everything. So that's cool. So let's unplug all that now. Again, so that wire we're going to be chopping is the orange and black one here. You just chop it in the middle here. Sorry, that orange and black one, you can just chop it on the middle there and connect the green wire here to it, to orange and black. And then the RCA, I'll show you where I have run this. So obviously I bring it down under the dash into this trim here. This trim here, it just has a slot here which can pop up with our trim removal tools that are in the kit. It's quite stiff. Give it a good lift. And then underneath the carpet here, you've got a grommet. Actually, it doesn't even have a grommet in it, it's a straight carpet, which is probably pretty standard for a Jet Wrangler. And then you can just take your line actually into the chassis rail. And I've taken it into the chassis rail. I've just used sort of a wire chaser type thing, get from Bunnings to do that. You can use whatever you have handy, if you have a long enough coat hanger or whatnot. And then I come up under here, I've used a chaser again. I like to push it up into the mud guard. And then it's coming out the back here. And I'll just show you what we've done underneath here. So it's come up under here, you can see it sort of sticking through there. We'll obviously tidy this up with tape. We'll come along here, we'll put our camera in, which is our camera here, which I'm probably going to screw into just here and just run the wire under there. That's going to look pretty good. It's going to keep us in the middle of the car above the tow ball, all out of the way. And then for the power, we need to take that off the reverse lights. So we had a trailer plug here, so you just find out the pin out, but normally the black is the reverse light, a positive, and the white is the ground. So I've just like come into here and tapped off those two. So that's basically your reverse camera, and I'll just screw it through the plastic and put it here. I'll show you what that looks like at the end. That's how you run the reverse camera. Right, so now there's a few bits that have to come off the factory fascia onto the our one. So I've popped some of these clips off already. You can see they're just clips like these little clips here and along here. All you need to do is get a flat head into one side and pull it off. That clip comes off like that, and it just will slot onto our fascia. So just like match the clips on the factory one to ours, and all these plugs we put into the glove box can all go in. And then the aircon vents have to come out as well. Now if you ever look at the aircon vent around there, like somewhere, you'll see this little tab. You just need to pull that tab back so that black bit can get past it, and then twist it, and it will twist and come out, and that pops out and goes back into our fascia, just like that. Pop that one back in already. Alright, so we'll start putting things back in. Swapped all your things over on here. This piece needs to come in first, so just put it in the same way you took it off. That obviously jams under there. So you just sort of get it all lined up. It is plastic, so just make sure you get all the clips lined up in the right area, and it'll go in easy as that and look pretty slick like that. So that's all looking pretty good, so you can see that's in now. Alright, so I like that bit's in and now, and then we've got a head unit here. So go for and just put all your plugs in. There isn't too much going on here, so I'll tape it up however you see fit. I will just actually do a little more taping here. Oh no, it's probably actually okay. It's still wound up. The GPS I haven't taped up, and then we will go from there. But basically all we're doing is this is going in and that's going in. Alright, so we're good now. So we'll go and put this in. I normally try and work from one side to the other side, or then you don't sort of miss stuff. Not too much going on here. Obviously we got our main 20 pin. We've got our reverse camera going in to there. I can do that one-handed on this. Reverse camera going into there. I will pull that back and I'll tidy that up. I'm just like leaving a bit there in case I have to pull any more back that I need. So that's into there. 1, 2. These plugs can only go into the ones I'll fit into, so you don't have to worry about getting those in the wrong spot. And up into here. So that's what our glove box ones we did. That's that. That'll be for our front cam if we're going to run our front cam. Got our AM, FM, GPS. Blue into the kind of blue colour, a little bit off blue, 4G into the purple, a radio into the radio. Then you kind of want to tuck everything back so it's going to sit in the back there and drop down out of the way. And obviously it's quite handy because you can easily see here we can actually just pull our glove box ones back as we tuck it in to keep them tidy. and we just slot it back in. Want to be able to access that to plug that in. Now you can see the latches here, so you want everything so it's lining up. It's plastic, you don't want to get too awesome on it. We'll just click our top in, and we'll click our bottom in, and that's looking awesome. Look at that, fantastic. That's in, looking good. I always like to power it up now and test everything again, just to make sure if you like sort of left anything else out, you've got to find out now. And like this case here, we didn't actually have the USB retention for here, but we will include it in the future. You'll just unplug that grey one, plug our retention cable into it, and then you can just use one of our USB ports, and it'll just keep this USB in here working. It isn't in a very good spot, to be honest, but if we can keep our factory stuff working, we will. So, or if you don't, if you didn't want to like sort of keep that, you don't even have to take off this bottom bit. You could just leave it as it was. So it's powered up now. I'll just check like radio, sound, reverse, etc. It's fine. That's just because we need to change a setting on it for zeros. Okay, should be 1080p 25. I don't know why. I think it's just an older camera. Cool. So that is all looking pretty good. We'll check sound on the radio, and then we'll just go and put these like bottom bits back in, so that just bolts back up. All the plugs go on, and that clips on. And then I'll come and cover the rest. Quick note here, we will include some like longer clips in the pack, because we did notice these factory ones weren't getting a good grip on these two top latches. So you can replace them. We'll include a 5 or 10 pack of these in the kit. You can either replace just the two top ones, or you could probably also do the ones around the side as well. Could also just give you a bit more, so we will include those in the kit. Now we're just going through and we've screwed on that. We're going to put our top piece in from our kit, and then we'll do our other bolt holes up here, so 1, 2, 3 up, and then we're going to put our switch back in, and then we'll go from there. We've got a little bonus step here, which is a bit of a pain, but just has to be done because of the fascia of the car. So these two parts we need to put together and put a screw in here. So this top bit goes to this back bit. Our head unit, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, 5 screws. So if you take those out, our head unit will slot through the front, and it'll allow you to put that screw up in there and keep those together. And then on here you can put these like longer like clips we like using, and like the bigger clips on here as well, the bigger ones that we have provided. So I'll put this head unit like back in, and then we'll put this whole thing in together. So that's what I was talking about there. 1, 2, 3, 4. If there's like a 5th one when you take it out, don't worry about putting that back in. When you put this back in, it's okay with 4. So this comes out. If you join these two bits together, put our extra long clips on, and then we'll go and put it in. Sorry, I should have cleared it on like camera, but when the whole units are connected, you push it in top first. You kind of got to get the plastic to line up. Try to sort of click the top and down, everything at the same time, if that makes sense. So because of the back of here, there's these two main clips. So if like so they come down and in as you're kind of putting the whole thing in, and it will like clip in. As you can see, there's a small gap in here. Like it's just the way it is in this model. It doesn't look too bad. Obviously from the driver's seat you can't see it at all. All the rest is like a good fitment. You've just got that small little gap there you can see, which is not too bad. So that's how it all goes back in. Obviously test it, like power it up. I've put our bolt back in here, our bolt back in here, our bolt here, and our bolt here. Those 4 you took out at the start. The valve all gone back in, and so now we're just going to put our window switch in, and then we'll almost be done. So that's basically all done now. We're just going to put in our lights like this. We've got our cables in the dash. We've just sort of like tucked those in tidy. Those out of the way. We've put our screws in here, and our 2 down here, and we put this trim piece back on. That's all good. Last thing to do is this thing. Now it's a little bit tight, so we'll see how we go. When I was in there, I should have seen if it was a zip tied back. Might have been able to like just loosen it off a touch, but that's fine because we'll get it in there. So once that's pushed in, then you got that locking tab. You just need to push back down again on the side there. Be good. So that is all good. Now I feel that tab when you push it down with your finger, it'll just go click, and then that obviously just pops back in. Give a decent push, and that is basically everything done. I'll just put that out of the way for now. So pretty good install. A 5 being hard, a 1 being easy. So 2 again, there isn't anything complicated about it really. It's just a little bit time consuming. Probably give yourself 3 hours if you're doing the camera as well. So again, we check everything's working. Make sure our handbrake's on so we don't roll forward. All good. I just need to flip the camera up. As you can see there, it's upside down. But the camera's happening, everything's happening. Sound, radio. So it's all looking pretty good. And you can see that's the camera just installed at the back there. So it's all working here with the factory Infinity sound system. So if you're getting good sound, all that's going to continue working.